My absolute favorite thing about this car is the way it launches out of the blocks. It's just blisteringly fast out of the blocks.
Welcome to another installment of Cool Whips. As you can see, I've got a car that's not Japanese, it's from Germany. It's my favorite Audi, an Audi S3, and I've been dying to get this car for ages now. If you enjoy the sleeper concept, the idea of a car that looks almost standard, but there's just some quality about it that makes you notice before it tears away from the stop street, red light, at the drags, and it just shows you performance you did not see coming, then you'll appreciate this S3, which you'll admit is beautiful, but it's not quite overdone, is it? It's just right.
My love of cars come from the time I was a kid. My family comes from a car background. Uncles repairing cars, uncles working in the panel shop department, and that's basically where it started. This specific car appealed to me on many bases. One is that it's quattro, and two, that it's a family car. So it's quite a bit of a sleeper, but it's got the right proportions and lines for any car that can be touched up nicely with some small subtle changes that makes it look good and stand out in the crowd. It can go anywhere, any place other than the waterfront underground parking, because it will lose the front lip. Other people basically sometimes come to me and say, listen, you're lying, there's not a stock turbo in there, can't be. I've various occasions had to open my bonnet and I'd hear stories, especially at Killarney when I go to the local robot-to-robot event. But this car 100% is stock as it came from Audi. I have not as yet at this moment changed the turbocharger, but it is coming, probably in the next coming months. I just haven't had the time to do it to my own car. But then I'm trying, my aim is to get to about sub 3, 0 to 100. I know it's possible, it's been done, but obviously with trick tires. And that's where I want to be. I want to have the car running the turbocharger upgrade as a daily ride. So I would probably end up having a car making 330, 350 kilowatt everyday driving. And even at that power, I don't think the chassis is trained as yet, because the Bolstein suspension just is unreal. She's currently packing the Bolstein B16 coilover kit, and from a handling perspective, I think she'll just do fairly well. I've started with small modifications on the vehicle. All bolt-on mods, nothing where we cut anything, everything is straight bolt-on. So the intake is imported from AMS Alpha in America, full carbon fiber. We've tested a few of these intakes utilizing various conversions in terms of big turbo, small turbo, and with the network that we have as MRC Tuning, the guys in the UAE have tested various intakes, which allowed me to choose the best one out of the bunch. And we found that the AMS intake works very well. There are other intakes in the market that are great, but the look of this intake just does it for me, and it's one of the reasons why I purchased it. Then I'm running the Wagner Competition Intercooler upgrade, which is much needed for cooling. It helps bring the intake temperatures down, which helps gain some power. On these platforms, the moment you start turning up the boost, the heat gets quite a bit for the stock intercooler, and that's where the Wagner comes in and makes the power more linear and consistent. Then the exhaust has been built by myself. It's running a 89mm downpipe all the way to the back, splitting down to a 76mm exhaust all the way to the back. My whole criteria with the exhaust was I wanted a car that wasn't loud. I wanted something that didn't drone. I spent 2 weeks building various systems on this car, and I ended up with what I have now. I finished off the exhaust with black tips because I thought that would look nice and different. And finishing off the rest of the car, I've went with suspension, Bolstein coilovers, And the last bit was done by MRC Tuning UK. The guys at MRC have remapped the engine ECU and the gearbox ECU to gain as much power to the vehicle reliably. It's not stretched in any way. It's a daily drive. I have put up 11,000 kilometers on this conversion since I've had it with zero failures, not even a turbocharger. And for that, tells a lot about the package this car is. And people know I've been frequently racing this car recently at the track. It's been consistent, reliable, and probably the best cars I've owned.
So you join me in Amien's S3. That's I believe this is a 2015 model. It's not a bad, well, it's my favorite Audi to start. The standard S3 is a brilliant machine. Amien is an evil genius. Therefore, this machine that I'm currently driving with around 300 kilowatts, around 600 newton meters. I'm saying around because he drives it in different states. In petrol, syrup pump gas versus sort of jet fuel hybrid that he mixes up, and the car performs differently based on these parameters. Either way, it is a beast, an absolute beast. I'm sorry, what's just happened is I've actually used the accelerator for the first time, and some more information. The car does a 0 to 100 in about 11.5 seconds. It does it every single time. It's well under 4 seconds to 100 km an hour. It's quite firm, as you experience now. But generally, this is the sleeper car ethos mastered. It looks like a normal car, apart from a couple of embellishments, all Audi goodies. So the Audi Quattro badge, stickers, Audi's own boot spoiler, and it's all subtle until you add it up and get this with its inherent sort of rightness quality to it. It's inherent, I don't even know what the word is, but it's sporty without being overdone. I love it, and that's not even getting to the performance of this car yet. So it's really meant to be enjoyed on a racetrack, because this is a fast car, which I'll illustrate one more time. So Amien's gone and set out to produce something that can be driven on the road, not get too much attention, but as soon as the hammer drops, the bullshit absolutely stops. This thing takes off. It makes all the mad turbo noises you want, the exhaust noises. I mean, Amien's been building exhausts for most of my cars and for very happy clients as long as I can remember. So, you know, you're not going to be disappointed. So with himself, he's really spoiled himself and just made an absolute noisemaker. And again, this is not the kind of car you want to have on these roads. This is the kind of car that makes a very strong case for track days. And I know he does a bit of drag racing with it, but I mean, the talent of this car is pretty much wasted on a drag race. There is so much going on here. Innocently veiled in white paint, but it's definitely a demon. It's definitely a speed demon. If you want to see Amien and his S3 in action, the easiest way to do that is head out to Killarney, to the local drag events, and see him compete, where he'll run sub 12s, where he'll do 0 to 100 in under 4 seconds in a car that, quite frankly, I think his wife cruises around in most of the time. That's about it. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it, subscribe, tell your friends, tell Audi fans. Yeah, let's keep the ball rolling. Thank you for watching.